point I'm trying to make. But okay, I mean, I hate it for lawyers because you're not going to be able to do your job. You're just not going to be able
Which is to be a criminal and break the law? Your job is to subvert the law and break the law. That's the job of a lawyer. That's what she's saying. It should be protected.
Representing them to be true. So I think that this is very narrowly construed. It's not the type of scenario that is broadened out. Like what we're trying to do is basically say, hey, look at us. If it could be us, it could be you, right? Which is like a good argument for them to make. But if you actually dig into the details of it, how many other law firms may find themselves in this situation?
Right now, there's
maybe
7.
a handful.
There's 7.
Less than a handful.
And those are very prominent
right now.
Yeah, they're very prominent law firms, though, and they're law firms that do specific kinds of work. And the oppositional research that they got, I just don't see how tying it to the law firm who is working on behalf of a person, they're an individual. That's the part that just doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's 7 of them.
No, but they have a responsibility.
4 of them are in a lawsuit. 4 of them are suing, and 3 have given in to this, doing this pro bono work for the government. And then I want to know like how that's legal, because the federal government has a team of lawyers. They have federal employees who we, the taxpayers, are already paying to do this work, and now they're enlisting these extra people. But
so like he just declassified Crossfire Hurricane, and if anybody's questioning the legitimacy of the FISA courts on how their warrants were established, they were using this dossier that they're talking about right now. And
no, FISA court was before. FISA court was before this. FISA court, I mean, the problems with
let's go back to 2016.
The problems with FISA court and questioning the legitimacy of FISA court preceded the Steele dossier, sir.
No, I'm talking about the application that was renewed 4 times using the Steele dossier as their predicate, like as the reason, like as the probable cause.
Right, but
that's an invented history.
The issues with the FISA court preceded that.
What do you mean that's invented history? Jane told me literally.
You just explained your piece, right? So she's trying to explain to you.
No, I was just responding to him. Wow.
The concerns about the FISA court predate. It's not to say they didn't add this on, but the concerns about the FISA court predate the Steele dossier. They had to do really with the Patriot Act. That's really when most Americans even found out that the FISA court was a thing. So I'm not saying they didn't add on the Steele dossier stuff, but the Steele dossier is not the main point of objection about the FISA court. That's all my point. That was my only point.
It also wasn't the only thing that they were relying on. Like, and to the extent that the Steele dossier was used, it also wasn't all wrong. So it's like, the idea that you can just say Steele dossier and therefore that means something nefarious happened was completely, unfair and untoward. It was just wrong. It's also possible for a law firm to put together information that is wrong. Like, that's not breaking the law. They also, in certain contexts, put together information that is slanted. In fact, often that's what lawyers do. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people use lawyers, is to actually create documents that stretch the truth as far in your direction as possible. So as long as Perkins Coie wasn't the organization that was presenting the Steele dossier as fact to the FISA court, which they clearly weren't, right? That was the FBI. They didn't break a law. So the idea that a law firm that works in politics would do something that stretches the truth as far as it can in the direction of its client is to be expected. That frankly is their role in many, many, many cases. Now, if they were presenting that in front of a judge, there'd be different standards.